housemates. Housemates, David Levy.
Who holds the record for living with you the longest? For some, it's your parents, right? For others, your spouse. For still others, maybe it only feels like it's your spouse. For me, it's Tony. 20 years. That's how long Tony and I were housemates. And when you live with someone for that long, you learn a little something about yourself. In my case, how much I'd rather live alone. I actually love Tony, though, I do. But it's true that towards the end, he and I were hardly talking to one another. We had reached a kind of quiet agreement. I gave him food, and in return, he walked around hacking up hairballs. Did I mention that Tony was a cat? Do we have any cat lovers here today? I don't know about you. A few, that's nice, very nice. How about cat haters? A few more. I find that most people fall into one of those two categories. Either way, you probably recognize that Tony is not a very common choice from the cat named catalog. And that's because Tony was named in honor of a man named Anton, who was my then future fiance, now ex-wife's, then recently deceased grandfather. And as I mentioned before, towards the end, my relationship with Tony had grown, forgive me, cat-atonic. But it wasn't always that way. I still remember bringing him home for the first time. A cute little long-haired black kitten. I said to him, "Look, Tony, everywhere the light touches is our apartment. One day, Tony, all of this will be over." I didn't realize how soon I would be right. I had two other adult felines living with me already. Tony was low cat on the scratching post. But he quickly and literally clawed his way to the top. But when he wasn't terrorizing the other cats, he was loving on people. Tony was a lap cat and a cat napper. In fact, he loved nothing more than to cat nap in your lap. Problem was, he shed so much wherever he sat, he left a flat mat of black cat scrap. That's why I never lacked black slacks. And he was loyal. Tony was a loyal cat. He stayed with me when I got married. He forgave me the birth of my son. And he joined me in the divorce. And forgive me if I pussyfoot around this issue. After so long, having Tony became a chore, especially with all the shedding and the pooping and the strange noises. And that was just me. My girlfriend said, "Get rid of him if you feel that way." Full disclosure, she's allergic to cats, so I suspect ulterior motives. Either way, I couldn't do it. Look, I didn't know he was going to live so long. I kept thinking that at any minute, catastrophe. And that giving him away was just asking someone else to deal with that. And then, of course, one day, the inevitable, Tony's kidneys failed, and it became time to make that difficult decision. My now teenage son and I spent one last day by his side, stroking him and shedding a little bit more than just hair. Finally, we scooped him up in a comfortable towel and took him to the vet for the last time. Now, the vet's office was crowded and loud, so while there were two receptionists helping people, there was only room for one line. So while the first receptionist was helping this man, his little girl, and their dog in front of us, the second one leaned around and yelled out, "Yes, sir, can I help you?" With everyone around and the little girl right there, I didn't just want to shout back, "Yeah, I've come to put this cat to sleep." So I just started gesturing and saying, like I hadn't been at Toastmasters for 5 years. I guess the cat had my tongue. Finally, she comes around and I can whisper to her, "It's my cat's time." "Oh my God, sir, I'm so sorry." And she whisks us into a private room where we talk to the vet, who agrees to put Tony down in the back. We say our final goodbyes. The vet gently picks up Tony and is about to leave when she stops and asks, "I'm sorry, sir. Did you want this towel?" Now, I'm cheap. I did want the towel. But I was too embarrassed to say so in front of my son. But as it turns out, I had raised him in my image. And it was actually him who looked at me and said, "It's a towel." Not a proud moment for the Levys. We drove home in silence that day. Me and my mini-me. And our towel. You know, Joni Mitchell used to sing, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone." And I guess that's another thing I learned from having a housemate for 20 years. I know it because 2 years later, and I still miss Tony. I miss him every time I walk into the house and imagine I hear his familiar greeting cry. And I miss him every time I find some of his hair, which is, I don't know, about every day. I especially miss him every time I see my girlfriend use that towel. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. But while I know that Tony is now making a house in kitty heaven, where he certainly rules with an iron paw, he will forever have a home in my heart.